Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Jimmy here again. So last time we left off, we finished off the interior. We separated the glass layer and its own little layer down here. In this tutorial, we're actually going to start working on creating the wheels for the vehicle itself. So to do this, it's actually going to be very, very simple. Not much to it at all. Yeah, I guess I can use this. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to select every other line like I have been doing. And I'm just going to delete those edges. Next thing I want to do is select the face. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude. Now for this, I'm not just going to scale it with the normal tool. I'm going to scale it with this tool. The reason why, because I'm also scaling this side in here. And so what I'm going to want to do is, as you can see, I create a small little edge right there. But then I'm going to want to extrude again. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do it right about here. I'm going to press G. I'm going to do this one more time. Now for this section what I'm going to do is I am going to go into my normal scale tool. I'm going to scale this in just a little bit. And then from here, I'm actually going to select all of these faces. 2, 3, 4. Then we'll do the same thing over here. And let me just go into X-ray mode. This way I can see what I'm doing just a little bit better. I'm going to press my scale tool. I'm going to scale this out just a little bit. Not too much. So then I'm going to select these faces. I'm going to extrude. And I'm going to scale in. Then I'm going to scale all of them out just a little bit. I'm actually going to move this out a little bit more. Probably something kind of like that. So now when I press 3, as you can see, we have a nice tire shape. So the next thing I want to do is, while I have the face tool select, I want to select these middle faces. I'm actually going to extrude these one more time, just a little bit. And this way, whenever I press 3, now we have an actual tire shape that we're looking for. Next thing I want to do is I want to delete. I'm going to go into Edge. I'm going to press 1 on the keyboard. I'm just going to bridge this selection. Say what? Oh, that's why, because I selected the wrong edge. It kind of helps if you select the right edge. And this way we have this nice little bridge section right here. So when we press 3, we actually have a tire shape. Afterwards, what we'll do, and I actually have a couple of reference images that we can work off of. So that's what we're going to do right now. Is we're going to go into Tutorial Chevy S10. We're going to use this wheel as a reference image, and so this way we'll get something that's a little bit more realistic, I guess you would say. So that's what we're going to do. Is while we have the side view select, we're going to go to Image Plane, Import Image. We're going to go to Desktop, Tutorial, Chevy S10, or wherever you have it saved. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're just going to pull this file in. Now this image is rather extreme. Like, seriously, no image should be that big. I know the steering wheel was, but you know what? That's just an exception. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to try and scale this where this lip right here that goes all the way around kind of matches up just a little bit. So I'm thinking something kind of like that should be just fine. What I want to do now is I want to try and find the center of it, and going to be rather difficult to do. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just going to move that out just a little bit, not too much. So now what I want to do while I'm in the side view, if it'll ever select, I actually want to match these edges up right here, and I want to match these up. So about like that. And down here into Polycylinder 6, if you don't have this one, so just click on Attribute Editor, just click on the Polycylinder 6 tab up here, and it'll do the same thing. So we just want to change the subdivision axis to 10. I know it doesn't quite match up with what we have up here. If you're worried about it, you can always just rotate it just a little bit, and then go in here and make this an even value, so 18, no big deal. So what we actually want to do is we're going to do the same thing. The only difference with this time is we'll select all of these, but we won't we won't. We'll I'm trying to think how to explain this. We'll shift select just the back ones because I'm not too terribly worried about this. So we can actually delete those. Those do not matter in this case. It's mainly just these right here in the outside that we need to be worried and focused on. I say worried. I'm not really worried, but you know what I mean. Come on, YouTube. Come on, guys. So the next thing we'll do is we're just going to select the whole object face itself, and we're just going to scale it up. I'm thinking right about there. Just a little bit where these points kind of match in with this edge. And then we're just going to select the faces, and now we're going to start extruding. And so what I want to do is I want to extrude this down to about here. I'm going to press G. I'm going to extrude again just a little bit, but this time I'm going to actually start curving this in just a little, about right there. I'm going to curve this in right about here. And actually, I want to scale this down just a little bit more. I'm going to press G. I'm going to scale this down. And then now we have this lip. And so what we want to do now is we're going to extrude again. And we're going to extrude down to about here. And then we're going to pull this in. Probably about like that. We're going to press G. We're going to pull it in right about here. And so in the side view is what we want. Is we want to press G. We want to scale this down probably right about there, and we're going to pull that in just a little bit. So once we have done that, now we have the basic shape that we're looking for. In fact, if you want, you can press 3 on the keyboard and take a look at it. Now I know this isn't the exact shape. We can always go up here and select this edge right here. We can actually scale this out like so. And now this gives us more of a shape that we're looking for, where it kind of goes over that wheel. So after that is what we want to do. Let me go and scale this out. Probably something like that, I'm thinking. We're going to go ahead and delete this, just for the time being. And I'll explain why here shortly. So now we have this shape. This shape we can hit, we can actually duplicate this. So we're just going to hold down Control-Shift-D and duplicate that to the other side. And then we'll just move this over where the lip kind of protrudes out. We're going to click on Face. And we need to turn on X-ray mode. And so with face selected, we're just going to delete those right there. And then we'll click, not on that one, we'll click on this one, and we'll actually end up combining these two together a little later on. And this will create the fundamental layer for our rim shape. Now, because this is 10-sided faces, that means I can actually grab every other face like so. And I can actually just go into Extrude, and I can extrude these down to here. I'm thinking probably about right there. I'm going to press G on the keyboard, and then I'm going to extrude these down one more time where they match up right about, I'm thinking right about here. And so now is what we want to do is we want to go, and we can just go into edge, it doesn't really matter. I prefer vertex because then we can select the vertices like this, and then we can just rotate them in. Something kind of like that, and we can just start shift selecting every other vertex. So that's the way I like to do it. And then we will rotate these in like this, and so now we have that star shape that we're kind of looking for. After that is what we can do is we could bridge these together. We could absolutely do that. Is what I'm thinking is just selecting all of these edges. And we're actually going to extrude this one more time, but this time we're going to make them kind of wide. Something kind of like this. And so what I want to do is I want to go into vertex, and I'm actually going to start merging these vertices. So kind of like that. And then we'll go into edge. Now we need to select these wide edges right here. So once we have all these selected, we can actually scale these in just a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. So the next thing we want to do is we want to fill that hole. Oh, right, because it's an outside. Yeah. So the other way we can do this is simply click on our Append to Polyface tool, and we'll just follow these edges around. The reason why the fill hole didn't work because of the fact that this is actually a complete hole, not just the center, but also these outside edges as well. So now what we want to do is we want to go into the cut face tool, and we're just going to create a few cuts like this. So this way, one, we don't have more than 5 sides, and two, it's kind of more of what we're looking for. So now we can select all of these edges around here like this, and we're going to extrude these in as well. And we'll want to do that using the scale tool under our transform manipulator. We're just going to scale these in, something kind of like this, I'm thinking. There we go, and we'll move them forward. Next thing we want to do is we actually want to move them in, kind of like that. And so now we can click on our edge loop tool, and we're going to create one edge loop on each one of these, about right there. Nothing too extreme. And so now we got that shape. Now if you want, you can actually see that this curves in and these curve out. That is doable. Just go ahead and show you how to do that real quick. Let me select all of these faces right here. So I'm going to select all the faces like that. And so all the center lines are selected. So all I have to do is just go into extrude and, oops, wrong one. I actually want to scale these in like so, but I want to do it uniformly. And so once I've done that, is what I'll do is I'll hit extrude again, and this time I'll just pull it back. Actually, instead of using the manipulator tool, I'm actually just going to press W on the keyboard and pull it back straight. And is what this will allow me to do is I'll be able to click on edge loop, and I'll be able to add an edge loop right in here. So let me turn off X-ray and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. And that's the shape we have. So right now you're probably thinking, but Jimmie, that actually curves in. Yes, I'm well aware of this. We're not done yet. So the next thing we'll do is, so this kind of curves out a little bit. What we want to do is we want to grab these edges that are in here, just like that. And then we actually want to pull these out, like so. And then for this centerpiece, this actually curves in a little bit more, so we're going to grab all these edges inside here, and then we're just going to pull these in, like so. And so now when we look at it, that gives us more of a shape of what we're looking for. If you want, you can actually grab these edges right in here. You can actually pull these out just a little bit more, something kind of like that. So now this is kind of a shape that we'd come to more expect from, you know, our favorite automaker. I say our favorite. I'm actually a Honda fan, but you know what I mean. Afterwards, what we'll do is we'll extrude these, and we actually want to extrude these out. Something kind of like that, I'm thinking. Let me see what happens if I... Okay, so I want to extrude these about like that. And so this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. And the whole purpose of this is whenever we smooth it out, as you can see now we have this more smooth look that we'd kind of want to see. Now you can actually create the arrow shape. You can totally do that. To do that though, you'll probably have to create a series of edge loops. I'm going to see if I can create this without having to go through all that extra nonsense. And basically I'm just going to take these, I'm going to take my scale tool, I'm just going to scale these in just a little bit. Probably right about there. So it's not the exact look that you would have, but it's pretty close, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. So now is what we want to do, is we actually want to select these two objects right here, and we want to combine them. For the wheel, for now, I'm actually going to hide the wheel. And so now we have this layer right here. So what we want to do is go to Edge, and we're just going to bridge these together. Once again, it helps if I select the right edge. So it's going to be this edge right here, and now we will bridge them together. And is what we'll get after that is when we press 3, we should have a nice rim shape. And that's how we create the rim. So that doesn't look too bad. And there's other rims, and we'll go through those in other lessons and tutorials. Right now I'm not really too concerned about it. Instead, what I want to do is I want to delete that image. I'm going to go back into my side view, not my front view. I don't know why I just did that, but obviously a lot of these actually have a Chevy symbol. You usually don't see the bolts on them. So I'm going to go into View. I'm going to go to Image Plane, Import Image, and my friend's truck, he actually has, I actually took two separate photos. So the one we're looking for, yeah, this is the other photo I took. So it's 377-46587. So I'm going to look for 377-46587 right here. And is what I want to do is I want to take this image right here, this awesome image. First thing I want to do is, oh really, I can't do that? No, I cannot. Okay, so I was going to try and change the pivot of this image, but it won't let me. No biggie. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to want to move this right about here. That's kind of big. I actually need to make the rims match up first. So once I match up the rims, then I'll be able to do this trick. Or I say trick, it's kind of what you'd come to expect of a Maya user to do. So I'm going to move that right about there. Go ahead and rotate this image just a little bit, something kind of like this. So I'm just trying to line these up right here, because if those are lined up, then I know that the other is going to be lined up. So I'm going to create this shape, and to do that, we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing we just did. All I'm going to do is create that right about here. I'm going to go to the side. I'm going to pull it up right about there. I'm going to move it out. So the first thing we need to do is we need to line this up. And we're just going to line it up. I'm thinking probably right about there should be good. We'll go down here and we're going to change the same. We're going to do the same thing. It's going to be subdivision axis 10. And now is what I want to do. I'm actually going to select all the faces. I'm going to go in right about here. Then I'm going to select every other face where we have like this umbrella symbol. And I'm going to click on extrude. I'm just going to extrude these out like this. Easy. So then after that is what we will want to do is we probably want to go ahead and do this now, but I'm just going to select these faces on the back. I'm just going to delete them. Less polygonal resolution. So then I'll click on the edge loop tool. I'm going to create an edge loop right there. I'm going to create one right about here. Now, one thing that's worth noting is that these have pretty sharp edges, and as you can see right here, these aren't going to be very sharp edges. And I don't just want to create edge loops in here, because that's just going to be a ridiculous amount of resolution. So, the simple solution, or what I think is a simple solution, I'm going to go to face. And I'm actually just going to select this whole object. Screw it. Because basically is what I want is I want all the outside faces selected like this. Actually, let me deselect some of these. I'm just going to select the sides right here. So this way we have separation whenever we do the edge loop. So yeah, let's just do it this way. This might actually be a little bit easier, a little less time consuming. So now that we have all those deselected and just the outside faces selected, we can go ahead and go into extrude. And is what I want to do is I want to pull these in kind of like that. Now the only downside is you are going to have to do a lot of manipulation, but now we have the hexagonal shape that we've come to expect Chevy to have. And if you don't like this bottom piece, all you have to do is just select that and extrude inwards like this. Easy. So, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into our cut face tool. We're going to click there, here, and here. For these up here, I'm just going to click on the edges like that. That was weird. There we go. Really? Oh wow, that one didn't even do it. Okay, so Maya problems. Alright, so I love it when the program does this. I'm going to go into face. I'm just going to select every one of these. Plus, we gotta do this anyways. I'm just gonna scale this down. I'm gonna move it out about like that. So let's go and try this now. Now that we have a whole new face. Maya, you suck. Okay, go ahead and save it, because I got a feeling it's getting ready to start messing up on me. Huh. Can we do it like this? Yeah, we can do it like that. No, we can't. Alright, so in odd situations like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this whole face, this whole face, this whole face. And I'm just going to select all of these faces, basically. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me make sure I don't have anything selected on the back, and I do not. I'm just going to hit delete, because they're kind of pissing me off. Not even going to lie. I'm just going to scale these down right about here. And then I'm going to take these faces, I'm going to scale these in individually. And so now we have this shape. That's how I fix that. So the next thing I want to do is, let me go ahead and select all of these. I'm going to extrude. It's going to create like, oops, wrong one. It's going to create like this little indentation right here. There we go. And so now you might be wondering what to do with that. Completely legit question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the side view, and I actually want all these to be uniform, so I'm just going to take every other one. Some of y'all are probably going to be like, that easy? Yeah, that easy. That's it. Okay, so afterwards what I'll do is I'll go ahead and fill the hole. Hopefully this will work. And it works. So I'm skipping every other edge. And this one. This one. See, I don't quite like that. So I'm going to go back. I'm still going to do this, but instead of doing that way, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come over here and create this one. And I'm going to use this as my center line. This way I have a lot less vertices I'm using. And then we'll go here in a little bit and start cleaning everything up. Or actually, I guess we don't have to, because these are only going to have 3 sides to them, so that should be alright. There we go. I'm going to go into vertex. Just going to move these right about here. So that's all it is to creating that cap. Hopefully some of y'all didn't run into the same problem I just ran into, but you know, that's what it takes. Move this in just a little bit more. Okay, so press 3. There you go. And you could also rotate this where it matches up, you know, something kind of like that. So be kind of more of what you come to expect. One thing I do want to do, however, go into X-ray. I don't like how far this protrudes out. I'm going to make it where it only sticks out like that much. And so that's all it is to creating a wheel. That easy. I'm also going to move this in just a little bit where it starts kind of like cutting through the rim. And that's all there is to that. So the next thing we want to do... Really, Maya? What is this nonsense? Yeah, I ain't afraid of little things like that. I'll fix them. I don't care. Whatever. I do what I want. Alright, there we go. So now when we press 3, we should have this nice shape. And we do. Okay, so that's how easy it is to create the wheel. Now we can get rid of that image. So now some of you are probably wondering, well, why do you have two images? Because I like the fact that one image has the wording on here, and the other image actually has a center cap. That's why I took two images. The next thing I want to do is select all of these. It helps take them off of reference. I'm going to press 1. I'm going to Control S. I'm going to attach these objects to a new layer. I'm actually going to call this the wheel layer, like that. Okay, yep, that's attached. I don't know why I just did that, but yeah, that's attached. Okay, so next thing we want to do is select all of those objects. We're going to... Now, we could go ahead and create the texture map for this. I don't want to. I'm just going to Control G and then Control Shift D. And now for this layer is what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to select all of these. So now with these selected, I'm going to hold down Control D. I'm not going to do a duplicate special, which is Control Shift D. All I have to do is just move these to the front. About right there. So that's how easy it is to do that. And now we have a truck. Let's go ahead and look back in our reference image up here. I don't know if I have a front wheel or not. No, I do not. So let's go into Yahoo. What I want to do is I want to get rid of the interior on here. Let's go and just take a look at the front. So the front fender actually needs to come up a little bit more and give that wheel just a little bit more room. Not too much, but a little bit. It needs to be about level with the rear fender. So to do that, I'm going to click on this. I'm just going to go right about here. So this is about how high it needs to be. You would think I would have noticed that from the other view, but I didn't. So I'm just going to grab these. I'm going to pull these up. I don't have to pull them up as high as what the image is showing, but I do want to pull them up quite a bit. Boy. Pull those back. I'm going to pull these forward. Now, because we are manipulating this, we're going to have a funky looking fender. Actually, that's really not all that bad. That's not anywhere near as bad as I thought it would be. I thought like we'd have this huge issue with like, Maya being like, oh no, this will no longer match. Let's take a look at that. I'm sure I'm going to have to manipulate a little bit more, but honestly that doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to select that one. I honestly thought those two were combined, but I guess not. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, there we go. Next thing, let's go ahead and add the... Now, I'm still debating if I'm going to add a... I'm trying to think what that's called. I'm still debating if I'm going to add, like, running gear or whatever. Or not running gear, but, like, the motor and stuff. I'm still debating if I'm going to do that. Basically, internal components. That's the word I'm trying to think of. There we go. Because, see, like, you can just create a plane right there. And the plane will be enough to block everything that's underneath. In fact, you can actually scale this in about like that and move it forward just a little bit closer where this starts cutting through. And then, I say that. Let's translate it 0 on the X. There we go. And so as you can see now, you can't really see anything. Like, yeah, you can see a little bit right there, but for the most part, you really can't see anything. And so, that's one option you have. And all you have to do is just create the inner fender right here, and you can hide all that. And then all you have to do is just worry about the running gear, which is really easy. But, let me just select everything. I'm going to press 1 on the keyboard. So this way, everything is, I guess, rectangular. And the parts I have already smoothed... Wait, I didn't smooth these. But I did smooth these. So the parts I've already smoothed are going to be deselected, and the parts I do not want smooth will be deselected. Like the grill, I don't want that smooth. I don't want this plane in here smooth either. There we go. It should be everything. I'm going to go ahead and press Control S, and I'm going to save it. Let's go ahead and smooth it all out. Doesn't match required selection type. Say what? Okay. That was weird. That was very weird. Looks like I've already smoothed that one. G, 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 G. I wonder what it was that wouldn't let me smooth. That was kind of weird. Alright, so this is our basic pickup. We'll continue on with it a little bit later on. On the next tutorial, I'm going to start actually working on some of the other components. I probably won't make a basic engine, but I will add some like cross members, framework, and things like that that go down under here. And we'll also add like control arms, disc brakes, drum brakes in the rear, because that's what these trucks generally came with. And this way you can also get an idea on how to do both of them. But I'm going to continue on this tutorial in the next lesson, and this way you can start seeing how to put all the miscellaneous parts in. And for tutorial purposes, I probably will go in and create a motor, you know, just so this way some of y'all know how to do it. Nope, I don't want to do that one. So I'll need to work on this part too. But I'm going to go ahead and save it for now, and this is our basic truck. So until next time.